Ah, so we're live, man. What are you had a busy year too last year,
Quite busy, yeah, quite busy. Uh, it's getting worse and worse with the
right?
more kids you add. And
I know. I keep watching the announcement, and I wait to see if you have another one coming, that it automatically deduct 15% of your matches from the season. So you
yeah,
have to you
we'll
have to
see.
plan so that the babies are born at the end of the season,
Yeah,
so you have
to
time to.
help me work. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. That's it.
Uh,
So
the biggest issue, it's not really the kids. It's like having the kids and taking care of them and
yeah,
working at at the hospital. My
yeah.
girlfriend's also working at the hospital, and
Okay,
she do half weekend. So one
okay.
weekend out of two,
Yeah,
she's working, so I'm taking care of the kids,
yeah.
and that's the main issue for scheduling matches around. Because
I hear you.
I'm on baby duty for
Yeah,
half weekends, and yeah, it's hard to squeeze. Either squeezing matches in between, or trying to find someone to keep an eye on the kids. So
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know.
new struggle, but so far
That's
it's been fine.
that's good. That's good. Well, I mean, because you're an active shooter before, so it's easier to make things fit in. But if you're like right now, if you didn't shoot before, it'd be very difficult to get into shooting,
Yeah.
just because it's going to be challenging. So for me, I'm on the other side. All of our three kids have left the house. Our last one left last June. So, but now because they're gone, my wife needs me more because there's nobody in the house. So anyway, it's all part of that balancing act. So it's going to be an interesting year this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, the good news is my middle daughter is getting married in August, but she's getting married on Vancouver Island.
Oh,
So I might be able to squeeze in a couple of matches
at the
before
same
and
time.
after that. Yeah, at the same time. So we'll see.
Yeah.
So
I've
yeah,
tried that, like squeezing family vacation with matches. My
yeah.
girlfriend didn't like that much. It was
No,
like, no,
no,
if we go on vacation, you spend time with us. You don't go
that's it.
out shooting.
That's it. Yeah. Well, they're still young though. You're still young. Maybe when they get older, it'll be easier,
Yeah,
or if you
probably.
have kind of like if you plan, 50% more time, you might have no anyway. So that's gonna
Yeah.
be cool, man. It's gonna be interesting. So the season's looking pretty good this year. It's we had an amazing season last year. So many new shooters, and we'll go through that on the podcast just to catch up. It's still too early to release because right now I'm waiting for all of the sponsors to confirm. That's why we haven't published any schedules yet because the event names could change still, and
Mhm.
and different events that we're adding, and we have a new event coming this year too, which is going to be fun. So we'll talk a little bit about that. That's cool, man. So is no sponsor products still going to keep going?
We'll
Is
see.
that is that a
We'll see.
yeah?
It's
Okay.
time consuming. I started for like both for fun and for
Yeah.
to help like new shooters and stuff
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
that, but I'm not making any money out of it.
Yeah.
I really am not. And so it's time consuming,
Yeah.
not bringing anything on the table, but I like doing it so far. So we'll
Yeah. It's
see
fun. It's a
how.
hobby.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
I got quite a lot of hobby now, so we'll see.
did you have a did you have a
For now,
cat?
yeah, but we'll see how long it goes.
Did you have a CAD background? Do you have an engineering background or something?
No, not at all.
No. Okay. So you have to
I'm only doing
as
it
you go.
for to help people around. I was doing it
Okay.
for myself at the beginning. So,
Okay. All right. Hey, so let's kick off the podcast, and then we'll be back in. Let's see. Let's do the winter one in 12 seconds. Stand by. Hey, shooters! Welcome to season 3, episode 1 of the Rimfire Nation podcast, proudly presented by Tesro.ca, your home for all your precision shooting needs. So I've been catching up with Asmir at Tesro, and there's a ton of stuff that he's coming out this year. But before we get into what's new at Tesro, I want to welcome our our guest, father of a growing family, Centerfire and Rimfire shooter, also the chief executive officer, engineer, and production specialist at No Sponsor, No Sponsor Precision Shooting Equipment. Welcome, Yanick. How are you, man?
Thank you. Good,
Also a
good.
member,
Thank you.
also a member of the CAPRA. And what does CAPRA stand for again?
Uh, Canadian Precision Rifle Association.
Perfect, perfect. So we're going to get into CAPRA, Centerfire, and Rimfire in a minute. But first, we will get into what's new at Tesro. Let's get into my window. And 1 second. Oh, I didn't prep this right. Okay, there we go. And so, I'm not sure if anybody knows, but we had an amazing ORPS season last year, and Tesla was the title sponsor for that. And we had sent an email out and also drew names. So Tesro, I don't know if you know it or not, has in-house builds. So most, if not all, of their rimfire builds are built around the CZ457, and there is a whole host. Hang on, let me find that. All a host of different chassis available, different barrel lengths. So here they're built around the 457 action, MDT chassis, IBI rifles in 1 and 14, 1 and 16, 1 and 12 in varying lengths. They've also got them in ACC chassis and in different colors and some custom wood kits, as you see. So testroad.ca. You can find these under rifles, pistols, and shotguns. Under small bore rifles, you've got their full selection. And then down below, they've got the Tesro in-house builds. For those that are also interested, they also have Centerfire builds, and apparently they're hot because it says hot right there. So if we select that, you'll see that that's all based around KDX rifles, the CX7, and various chassis. Here they've got the J. Allen Enterprises, and again, different profiles, different calibers, with and without. This one's got the Spearhead break on it. So take a look. Tesro.ca, your home for all of your precision shooting needs. So that's what's new at Tesro. Hey, salut Yanick. How's it going, man?
Good, good. And you?
It's been a while. When did you start shooting CRPS? Is that 4 years ago?
I think it was, I'll say 2019.
Was that Valcartier? Was that your first match?
Yeah. In the big storm, the big winter storm we got. I don't remember. I don't think I think I started PRS in 2019.
Yeah.
Probably took 1 or 2 years before Rimfire. I remember I did the CRPS in Valcartier. I hated that. But it was because of the storm. We've shot I think 2 stages before you pull out the match. It was bad.
It was bad. It was the worst. It's the only time we ever canceled a match, and the winning score was 14 points for that match.
Something like that.
And
it was bad.
The sad part, the day before during setup, it was a perfect spring winter day, beautiful sunshine, like 2 degrees, and then overnight it went blizzard conditions. So thanks for coming out. Sorry it didn't work out, but you've been shooting ZRPS ever since. And correct me if I'm wrong. You started with a 455, right? CZ 455.
And I still have it. I'm still running it. CZ 455 and a MDT ACC chassis. Since the beginning with a tuner on it, and it's still the most accurate rifle, rimfire rifle I've got. Yeah.
And that was a red knob tuna can, right? You had on that one? Yeah. Yeah, and for those that don't know, Yanick podiumed many times with that 455. So for those that think you need a high-end rifles, no, you just need a good, reliable, solid, accurate rifle like a CZ something 455, 457, and wind reading skills. Right, that's the big difference.
And I don't even think the 455 is still in production from CZ. I think they've switched everything they've switched to the 457, which fixed all the issue the 455 had back in the day. So big upgrade, big rifle. Like if I had to choose, will be definitely CZ 457 to shoot now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
way before my
But
remix, and I love my remix. It's just yeah, Caesars are
but
way
you're
more
used to
reliable.
yeah. You know the 455 though. It's like an old friend. It's like a old pair of boots, right?
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
exactly what
And
the feeling.
we did a video with Matt for his YouTube channel, small
Hmm.
competition at Avonmore, and when I took the like, because when we said, all right, we're doing it, I go back to the car, take my rifles out, and I took the CZ out and was like, oh, you're like competitive on this one. I didn't bring the remix. I brought the CZ for the
Yeah,
competition. So
the hammer.
yeah, yeah,
Nice,
still the best rimfire rifle I have here. Yeah, by
nice.
far.
That's awesome. That's good for folks just getting into the game, just to get them. You know, it's not about the gear. The key thing is reliability, number one, and then just learn. You'll learn so much just by starting to shoot matches, whether it's outlaw, whether it's CRPS or even NRL 22. Just to wrap up on the outlaw, so we had over almost 1,900 starts last year in ORPS across Canada. I think we had close to 150 youth and lady shooters, which is a new record for us. And again, last year Vortex Canada provided free registration for those. We just announced a whole bunch of prizes. Just to summarize, we had um, testroad.ca gave two $1,000 discounts off any in-house builds. So whether it's Centerfire or Rimfire, we
Wow.
had two Savage rifles given out, V22 FVSR, the threaded suppressor ready, and a stainless steel one. It's beautiful. And then we had Vortex gave out 12 50% certificates, one for every month. And Linda and Keith Cunningham at Milcon gave out their new book on hunting, one for each month as well. So it was a good year. It was a good year. So and we published the results. So the leaderboard results for both CRPS and ORPS are on the website rimfireprecision.ca if you want to check that out. And also in the comments, Yanick, I'm seeing people already delivering the congratulations on your. You've got to change your status now from no sponsor to sponsor. So congratulations to you for your MPA sponsorship.
Yeah, thank you. I was going to keep it for myself for at least one more month, but it looks like it's a bit
It's
too
out of
late.
the bag. It's
Yeah,
out of the bag.
I keep like not posting anything about it
Yeah,
for the last 2 months, but yeah, now
that's
Dan
all good.
just posted in the comments, so everyone's gonna know it. But
Well, soon. Yeah, no worries. Well, congratulations. Well deserved. And were you actively saying no before, or you weren't looking for sponsors? You just wanted to
no,
have a
I
no
wasn't.
pressure situation.
Yeah, it's more no pressure situation because I've been sponsored for a while now. It's just like here and there, and I like having good relationship with them. Not just
Yeah,
like you get the offer, you say yes, and you got free stuff and thing like that. Like I want to use the sponsorship to like help improving the project themselves and having
yeah,
relationship with the manufacturer. So it's a longer process for, I'll say it like that. It's a longer process for me, and I've been working with MPA for more than a year now,
oh,
and
nice.
we've been talking for almost every week. I'll say every month for sure for the last year until the offer get on the table and thing went from there. So yeah, but I've been sponsored with Labrador for probably 3 or 4 years now,
Yeah,
probably four
yeah,
now.
nice.
Ganjo, benchmark barrels, and yeah,
Okay.
it's just more under like on the
Under,
ground.
no shirt, no sponsored shirt.
Yeah, I still have the
That's cool.
logo, no sponsor, and
Yeah, that's awesome.
uh,
That's awesome. That's good. And that's for Centerfire and Rimfire, right?
yeah, it's gonna be for both of
See,
them.
see now you have to tell your wife you have to go because you're a sponsored shooter and
It's
there are
exactly what I
requirements that
tell.
you have
It's
to show
exactly
up.
what I told her. She's gonna have to take some day off to take care of the kids, so I can go out and shoot. Yeah,
There you go. It's work. It's work. It's
yeah,
another job.
exactly.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Perfect. Awesome, man. So So one of the main topics we want to get into this year is Capra. That's last year. It was great seeing Team Canada form, and we were able to send almost over a dozen, 12. I'm trying to count 16 suitors. Do you remember how many people we had go overseas?
I'll
We
have
had
to look back at the last year numbers, but we got quite a good team to send. And this year with the Centerfire, we know there is more shooter involved in traveling for
yeah,
Centerfire, and the World Championship being in the United States
right,
have made quite a lot of people like interest for trying to qualify for Team Canada.
yeah,
So we're sending a full team this year for the
nice.
Centerfire. We fill
Every slot.
all senior, yeah, all slot for
That's
senior, for
perfect.
junior, for woman, and
Perfect. That's awesome, man.
open factory and stuff. Yeah, so we're
That's great.
really happy about that. The team is really great. We've had a lot of application. We were really happy about that. Of course, there is like really good shooters that haven't made the team, but it's part of the qualification. So like you have to shoot a lot. You have to travel around to shoot bigger matches and
Different
stuff like
matches. Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So yeah, so it's sad that not all good shooters have made the team, but yeah, we had to
I
do
mean, it's
some
it's
qualification
yeah.
out of
I
it.
mean,
So
it's not the last world center fire, right? So if you don't make it this year, the chances, the key thing is getting out there and shooting more matches and be willing to put it out there and get recognized and earn the points. Not that people haven't earned the points, but again, you only have so many spots on the team, and
yeah,
this is the team for this year, and next year for Rimfire it'll be, maybe the same people, maybe different people, and it just keeps rotating.
yeah, and
As
if
as
you're a long a young shooter, but like between 18 and 55, there is not many spot for you. A
Yeah,
man between 18 and 55, like there is only
yeah,
we got six open spot for Centerfire. We got six open
yeah,
spot for a limited and for factory spot, and we got Mil Leo too, but again that's under division, so we only
okay,
have 14 spot, and we got I don't remember truly, but we got more than 50 application.
yeah.
So yeah, it was quite challenging trying to balance everything, and yeah,
Yeah, no,
get
that's cool. I mean, the key thing is we have a team, right?
yeah,
You have a process that selects people, and then there's a process to provide support, and that we can go in and represent Canada at the Worlds, which is awesome. And again, it's incredible that you guys were able to put it together, so quickly last year. And I mean, I know you guys went through a lot to trying to get it happen, but again, every year it's going to be more and more efficient, and
yeah.
as you have more experience, it'll go faster, and
Yeah,
again,
we've learned a lot from last year with the Rimfire Championship. We did a couple of mistakes out of the team selection process. It was quite last minute and stuff like that, so wasn't planned much ahead. So
yeah,
we've been able to learn from that when we
for
built
sure,
the qualification process for Centerfire. It was still a bit last minute for it, but it was more organized around it. So
yeah, for sure.
all the point race and stuff like that. We've been able to put a formula behind and put every shooters with the scores in it, and ended up with a final score out of it. And we just put all shooters in the balance, and we went from that. So it was a bit easier to do. And we've learned also for next year Rimfire, we're already in the process of making the qualification public, so people will know, right, like probably within the next month.
Right.
Well, we've put it earlier today on our website, but maybe there will be some fine tuning, but the main idea is there on the qualification that's going to be required over it's 2 years process, so it's going to be last year and this year, and people's going to know what to be expected, where they have
Right.
to perform, where they have to shoot. And so when they're going to apply, well, things will have been on the table for a while now, so there will be not as much surprise as there have been this year and last year with the selection process. So we're quite
Okay,
happy about that. A couple new thing, and I think it's really fair for everyone with the new qualification rules. So
for sure. And that's the thing. It's the key thing is to participate and then refine it. Because if you wait until it's perfect, then you could miss out on one or two championships. And I think that's a bigger loss. And part of what we want to do as an organization is organize our matches to better support the development of shooters into that. So we'll see some changes. Last year we already started. We put together our first world course of fire that kind of follows the target sizes that we saw and the kind of props that we saw, and then that was a lot of fun. More stable props, closer but smaller targets,
mhm.
and I think we'll continue to see that as we go forward, and dropping par times to 90 seconds from 120. I think
Yeah.
we're not going to do that for outlaw, but certainly for CRPS, there's an opportunity to tighten that up and hopefully working with Capra to get our 2-day regional matches where we have 40 to 60 people shooting, potentially be qualifying matches, and
Mhm.
more importantly, have our 1-day matches be training grounds for people to understand kind of what that course of fire entails and be more ready when they travel to the US or to other countries to
Yeah.
participate and not feel like, oh, this is something completely different.
Yeah,
So
it's the way PRS and Rimfire PRS are going. It's not a challenge of the props now, like,
yeah,
and it's what it's
and
been
distance.
like 4 or 5 years ago,
Yeah,
and now it's yeah, exactly. It's not the distance, and it's not the props. It's really trying to go to what is the shooter ability to
yeah,
take a good shot, follow
yeah,
through, and take a second shot, and getting the
right,
more like it's more on shooter skills now than
correct.
ever. And so we were building. Well, I'm saying, or I'm not match director, but what we've seen is solid props and harder targets. They're not further;
Yeah,
they're just close, smaller, and you have to do
yeah,
movement. You have to think on what you're gonna do, when you're gonna do
yeah,
it, and yeah. So you need a stage plan now
yeah,
more than ever. And the
yeah.
prop is not going to be the usually the
Issue.
prop's not going to be the issue
Yeah.
there. And
I mean, it's
yeah, it's what
position,
we
it's
think.
positional. Yeah, it's positional changes, but the stability in the prop is there. And
Yeah,
you're looking at 1.5 to 2.5 MOA targets, going forward, and those are, and I think, the Outlaw series with its shorter distances and smaller targets is actually uh, a good preparation for that. The only thing we're missing there are 90-second par times to really
yeah,
push the shooters. But again,
and
that's
the
not going to
win,
happen in
probably the
next,
win.
and the win. Yeah, for sure,
Like
for sure.
yeah, because our RPS are all like standard
100.
yards, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. So you
yeah,
don't have well, you can have much win
yeah,
at 100 yard with a 22, but it's not the same as
yeah.
200 and more. So
Correct. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
but it's a good starting point. So if you're doing well in Outlaw, then you've got a better shot at doing better. All you have to do is learn wind at that point,
yeah.
right? But the fundamentals will be
A little bit the
drilled in.
same.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. So from an organization perspective, how many people are in Capra, and what can we do to help?
We are five right now.
Okay.
We've been like well, Ryan McLean and Josh Botta started it 3 years ago. I think it was
Okay.
3 years ago, alone, and so they've been building that. Both of them together. Then me and Dave Geriani
Hmm.
joined last year or two, no, two
Okay.
years ago, I think. Well, for the Rimfire part, so we've been four, and this year Carly from Apex joined us
Right. Cool.
with a good knowledge of the industry itself, and
Yeah.
she's good at PR, at
Perfect. Yep.
all
She
the
she is.
Facebook
She's
stuff, all
yeah.
writing
She's
the
amazing.
yeah, but way better than like the four guys we were. So like writing emails, writing social media posts, and
Yeah.
listen, we were not really good at it, and she's bringing a new really good new vision out of it. So it's the five of us right now.
That's
There's
awesome.
been discussion about voting the members
Hmm.
at some point. For right now, I think we're still at the beginning of it, so there's still a lot of stuff to build on. So there is a ton of work going on right now. So,
Right.
but I think when that's going to be done, we'll put in a process of who's the member want and how we're going to work it, and we'll see how it goes over the time for this part. We've just got, I think it was this week, the non-profit organization status
Okay.
for
Nice.
like sporting non-profit, something like that.
Right.
And so I think it's going to be easier to have recognition out of Capra itself,
Yeah.
and going to ask for support here and there
Yeah.
for because it costs a lot to the shooters. And
I
one
know.
of the objective, we got a lot of objective for Capra, but one of them is bringing the best shooter to the world championship. And
Right.
sometimes the best shooter don't like cannot afford the travel
Correct.
itself, because it's at least $3,000
At least. Yeah.
travel. Yeah, at least, or like very very minimum travel expense,
Yeah.
food, hotel, cars, renting,
Yeah.
shooting, and people have to train a lot,
Yeah.
hopefully, to perform. And so we're trying to, like, the idea behind that, what I'm saying is that if we can get support to the shooters and help, like, absorbing part of the cost of
Yeah.
traveling for the
For sure.
world championship, we'll just get more shooter involved and trying
Yeah.
to make it,
For sure.
because the money might not be the limit anymore.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Exactly. Because we
so
had, I mean, our community helped raise, I think it was over $1,200 per for each shooter last year for rimfire.
yeah,
So the thing,
it was a lot.
and people only found out after. No, so now if you're going to Worlds knowing that you have money available to you, it's going to
Yeah,
make it different that you're going to apply this time, right? Because
yeah,
a lot of guys will say, well, it's nice, but I can't go to Italy. It's going to cost thousands and thousands. But if Capra was able to work with the partners and say, we've got $2,000, let's say, I'm just throwing a crazy number out there, or
yeah.
3,000, does that change your decision in terms of submitting an application? Right. And I think that would be great.
Yeah, it's still early for, so like for this year, we told the shooter they had to commit, like, if there is all fees on there, that
Yeah.
they're gonna spend the money. But we're really working hard to help the shooters for this year and the
Yeah.
subsequent years, so we can say, like, we're gonna help you for sure.
Yeah.
Right now we cannot be sure. We're gonna
Yeah.
work really hard for that, but
Yeah.
you never really know.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this is the part of the five people on the board right now. We are
Right.
thinking also for the rimfire, for next year, to get more people involved, because most of Capra board doesn't shoot rimfire. I do, but I
Right.
don't do as much as I used to. I'm
Right.
more on Centerfire right now.
Yeah.
And I do Dave's match director and rimfire stuff,
Yeah.
and etc.
Josh. Josh. Yeah.
Yeah,
Josh is a
Josh.
rimfire match
Yeah.
director too.
Did I say Dave?
Yeah.
Dave? Yeah.
Dave. Yeah. Dave.
Yeah. No, I was meaning Josh. So
Okay.
he's the only one really involved with the rimfire community. So we would
Okay.
like some other people to join
Yeah.
and help with the team for the next year. That's
Right.
also
That's cool.
on the table right now. We also want
Yeah.
to talk with the match directors. We're planning right now the match directors for the Centerfire,
Hmm.
because one of the main complaint for this year is that U.S. matches have been used to the qualification process,
Right.
and of course we will have liked to use only Canadian matches, or
Yeah.
like Canadian matches weighting the same as the U.S. matches, but they're not on the same level of competition right now.
Right.
And so we want to have a open discussion with the match directors all around the country, and we'll have the same with the rimfire, community and match directors to see what we can do, to bring them down to Fairfax. So to see what we can do to help all the community and get a standard all across the country, so we can use more of the Canadian matches and
Right.
scores and for the shooters
Yeah.
for the subsequent years. So I think
Yeah.
that's going to be really hard to work on, but it's worth it. It's going to help
Yeah.
everyone. It's going to prepare people better, and it's going to help the sport at the end of
Sure.
the day. So
Yeah. And I
it's
think,
one of the things.
one of the really useful things will be just to publish a schedule, right? A calendar. These are all the qualifying matches, and then
It's
we'll happily mirror that on our site too, just in case people
yeah,
aren't
but
aware of.
for the Rimfire part, it is part of what's going to happen. Well, the for the 2025 qualifications, and just for people listening, you can just wait for the information to go out on Facebook. It's been published on the Capra website
Okay.
earlier today, and
Cool.
what's going to happen? There is two things. There is a minimum of matches shot and minimum of venue shot. So you cannot just be the best shooter because you shoot in, I'll say Valcartier because it's the closest place to mine. But if you only shoot Valcartier and you win every time, it doesn't make you a good shooter for all the country. It makes you a good shooter for Valcartier, and you're probably one of the best shooter in the country. But we want people to see different range and hit different range and score well at different plays. So that's going to be part of that. Matches core to be used will have to have an attempt of more than 40 shooters minimum.
Okay.
And the match itself have to be at least one target over 200 yards. So that's the minimum of the maximum distance for one of the targets. We want to cut all the like ORPS and NRL that are limited to 100 yards, because we know the World Championship's going to have wind and stuff like that. So we want matches to represent that. So 40 shooters.
Are these one day matches, 2 day matches, 10 stages?
We haven't put anything on the number of days. We ask for 7 stages.
Okay, so 40 shooters, 7 stages. Okay,
40 shooters, 200 yards, 7 stages. It had to be within the years. So I think the qualification period is up to December 31, 2024. Okay. So we can make the team at the beginning of the year, and so they can start prepping, because there is different division for like factory division. Some people are gonna have to buy a rifle, build a rifle, and start training with that. So we prefer having a couple months, like at least 6-7 months of training for the shooters to know which divisions they're going to be at, so we can train with their stuff.
That's a good point.
So matches have to be within the qualification period.
Yeah.
And
in the right division. So we'll have to look at the divisions to see how different they are. I mean, for us, we're in the process of making some changes to better align ourselves with the rest of the world and what's happening in the States.
Mm-hmm.
We have a meeting next week with the ORPS match directors to start talking about our proposals. And then later on, we'll have a meeting with the CRPS match directors to talk about the proposals for, divisions, par times, types of props, and things like that, just to help get shooters not in line, but more exposed to what a world course of fire could look like, and see what we can do for getting the teams ready. So that's awesome.
And
So is there I guess the process for us
to help you? There's probably a lag. How we start talking at the same time for me. But what I can do is sending you the new production or factory. Just made me think there's a difference between the PRS factory and the IPRF factory rules.
Okay.
I'm not sure which one is the factory, which one is the production one.
Production.
Let me just check.
But you,
Factory.
you guys are
Factory.
following IP. You guys are following IPRF.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're quite close with the PRS, but there is a couple small difference,
Okay.
and the rules gonna change for 2025. Before the factory
World.
division for the IPRF
Okay.
did not allow any attachment that could change the I will say the balance of the rifle. So no weight, no thumb
Oh,
rest
really?
and stuff like that. Yeah, no
Okay.
permanent change or no attachment for that. And they're gonna change it for 2025. So
Okay.
there will be couple small changes, couple gray zone that was on the last statement
Gotcha.
of the of the factory division that's going to change,
Okay.
but they're not too far apart. They're not too far
Right.
apart. The main
Okay.
idea is different. One like the RPRF want to help the industry providing a rifle out of the box a shooter can use and be really competitive with it.
Right.
And so there
Interesting.
is no price limit and stuff like that. Where the
Okay.
PRS is more I feel is more limited to like being entry level for the sport.
Yeah. It was
So they
fifteen
have
hundred
price
dollar.
limited. Yeah,
Yeah.
they got price
Okay.
limitation on everything. Yeah,
Yeah. I guess the most important information for us is what is the vision decision points, so we can help people already start getting in their minds. If I want to compete in, world championship, what division am I in, and does it even make sense, right?
yeah.
Or
Well,
they know that at some point you're gonna have to change equipment because it's very different from what you're shooting now. You
yeah,
know.
one of the big thing we've learned from Rimfire last year, and we've applied for the Centerfire team this year, and I think it makes a lot of sense. We've made what the US team have done is putting everyone on the same scale, no matter if they shoot a division or another during their matches. So everyone's going to be competing against the top score open.
Okay.
And so if
Gotcha.
you decide to shoot a factory production gun,
Yeah.
let's say a Savage, your score is going to count against the first place open.
Okay.
Instead of for the Rimfire, we
Your
were
division.
going by division itself. So
Okay.
where do you production shooter
Right.
place against the first production shooter of at that
Gotcha.
match? And
Right.
yeah, so that's a big change we've done. So what we do is just we add every the score for everyone,
Yeah.
put them on the table, and from top to bottom, we told the first six,
Yeah.
you get a spot in open. Do you want it, or do you prefer shooting in the
Factory or
production
production.
factory division?
Yeah.
And when the open have confirmed, then we go to the next four, and we offer them a spot in the factory division. I'm saying factory. What is the it's factory
It's factory. Yeah.
the right
Yeah.
word? Yeah. So we're offering them a factory spot, sort of for next, and then for the Centerfire, we've go to the for next after that, and offer them a spot in the limited division, which is 308
Okay.
only,
Okay.
and beside of that, we got the woman division, which have four spot, and we got the youth division, which have also four spot.
Four
And
spots. Yeah.
yeah, the youth for the Rimfire is 12 to 18 years old. For
Okay.
Centerfire, it's 14 to 20. That's kind of
Okay.
a weird
Interesting.
rules, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, because I think in the U.S. the drinking age is 21.
Yeah,
So for them, I guess that's an adult. Maybe, I don't know.
yeah. But for the Rimfire, it's still 18. So
Yeah. Interesting. That's okay. It's cheaper for the parents.
well, I'm not sure about cheaper for the parents, but
That's cool. So I guess part. I mean, I mean, the sooner I guess the rule sets can be finalized, then we can look at adopting as much as we can, so folks already kind of get into the step.
Yeah.
Also, in terms of how do we have to submit a course of fire and the roster to get matches to qualify? Because I'm sure match director. I mean, you don't have to be in CRPS to have a qualifying match. I'm sure there are matches all around the
Well,
country that take
yeah,
place that want to
yeah.
get recognized. So we'd have to find a process that we can submit a match with results in the course of fire just to get validated that it's a qualifier. You know,
Well, for
to
now there
register it.
won't. Yeah, for now there won't be a proper qualifier match. It's
Okay.
going to be as I said, like the restriction matches have to answer to so the shooter can submit the score of his
Oh, I
matches. So
see.
for
Okay.
40 shooters, 200 yards,
Okay.
seven stages, and
Okay.
we've put in the and for the shooter himself, he have to shoot
Yeah.
in 5 different venue, and he had to
Okay.
submit at least five different scores.
Scores.
And
Okay.
remember, everyone, it's on 2 years
Okay.
number. So it's
Oh, that's not
not,
bad.
so it's not 5 venue in a year. It's 5 venue
Yeah.
over 2 years, which
Right.
we've been thinking about the magic number of five for quite a while, and having a look at it, I think everyone can do 5 different plays, 5 different match over 2 years.
Yeah. In 2 years.
Um,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, one of them have to be what I'll call qualifying. It have to be a finale, no
Yeah.
matters which series or club series final it is. So it could be like one of the five have to be one of the finale. So either
Okay.
the PRS, NRS, finally
Yeah.
CRPS, NRS. One of those have
Okay.
to be used.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, we'll keep providing excuse me, the opportunities for us. Excuse me, in CRPS, we're gonna have 25 one-day matches across Canada, and then 5 two-day matches across Canada, including the finale this year, which is going to be in August 25, 26
Yeah,
in
in
Tabor,
Alberta.
Alberta,
Yeah,
in Alberta, Tabor. So that'll be a good one. And then we'll have um, the Western Championship will be in BC, Kamloops. That'll be a 2-day. So hopefully we can get at least. I mean, the big one is going to be getting 40 shooters. That's going to be the challenge because if we go
hmm
to, well, maybe not, if people know it's a qualifier like Saskatchewan, if we go to Saskatoon, you know the big match is there. I know that Saprel, Southern Alberta, they
hmm
they have the Cactus Cup. They get like 60, 80 shooters there, so that's going to be no problem for them. So that's one venue. Then we just have to make sure that we can fill other venues in the area so that the people in the prairies can get at least 3 matches every year that they can do. And maybe we pick different cities every year so that we have 5 different regions that contribute to that pool.
yeah,
Because there's some good shooters just in Winkler, Manitoba. I think 5 out of the top 10 came out of that club, so they're super shooters down there. But there's not enough matches for them to qualify. So that's what we'd like to address, those smaller areas that there is no Josh Bolta there, there is no Adam Cool there is no Ryan Christie. So we just have to kind of backfill where we can to kind of help get them
yeah, yeah.
get others to see
That that
the talent.
that was one of the issue with the qualification process with the Canada. Like when we look at others European countries, for example, like we're in France. I was talking with someone and people are complaining because from one point to the absolute other point of the country, it's about 3 to 4 hours drive, and
I
people are
know.
complaining it's too far. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
we're trying to make a selection where it's probably 45, 50 hours to drive from
yeah,
one side to
I
the
know.
other of our
Yeah,
country. So that
yeah,
that that was the main goal, is trying to find a way that is fair for everyone in the country
yeah,
to be able to qualify, without traveling from one side to the other or traveling
Yeah.
to the US or everything around. And it's been really, really tough
Yeah.
to make it. There is a region for Centerfire, for example, where they only have like one club for probably 10 hours drive around,
Yeah.
and that make things really either unfair or not. We're not really comfortable with the idea. For example, one of the idea that came back a lot is to make qualification matches, one east side, one west side, and people have to
Yeah.
travel to the other side of the country to make it. And we were
That's
not really
hard.
comfortable with that. Yeah, because
Yeah.
the airplane and the travel to shoot the
Yeah.
qualification match is probably going to
Yeah.
cost. I when I traveled to Alberta 2 years ago, because it was the only match available for with the border closed, it cost about $3,000 to $4,000
Yeah.
for only a weekend shooting and
Yep.
came back.
I
So
know.
are we going to ask shooter? It's going to be the same issue of shooter
Yeah.
traveling and expense. Like the richers and those who really more committed are going to
Yeah.
do it, and they're going to qualify, and not the others,
Yeah.
and not because
Yeah.
they're bad shooters and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's been part of the concern of how can we make it fair for
Yeah.
I'll say everyone, but yeah, we know the prairies are vast and not much
Yeah.
people living down in some
I
place,
know.
and so they're gonna
Yeah.
have to travel a bit more. But yeah, it's been
Yeah. Well,
compromised.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we'll do what we can. I mean, the key thing is there are a couple of events there already, so it's just a matter of how do we get them to five? How do we help get them to five? And for
Yeah,
us, it makes sense to spread our matches around over the 2 years, just so we can reach new people. So we're going to actively look for new ranges and also encourage them to get. Hey, we need to get 40 people out there for this to be a qualifying match. The course of fire is not a problem. The trailer's loaded with all the gear, right? We know the format, we know the props. It's all there. We
yeah,
just need the venue and the shooters, and then
yeah,
everything else is pretty easy. So
yeah. And five, I think, is a fair number because just like living near Montreal, like I don't have access to five venue that makes rimfire match PRS match
yeah,
of like even traveling to the US. I've
yeah,
checked and I don't have that in a 10 hours drive
yeah,
round. So I'll have to travel at least once for a finale,
yeah,
and that everyone's going to be at the same place. Like
yeah,
if you want to make the team, if you want to do it, you're going to have
yeah,
to commit to travel at least maybe a 10 hours
for
drive
sure.
for
I
one
mean, I mean,
match.
so for us this year, we plan to have at least three in Southern Ontario, so London area,
Hmm.
Aylmer, you know, so at least three there, and then we're at least gonna have three in Eastern Ontario, Stittsville and Cornwall at Avonmore. So
Does
a minimum.
Stittsville have more than 200
Yep,
yards?
we can get just past
Oh,
200,
okay. So
like
yeah,
two two
there might
205
be
or
five.
whatever.
Yeah, there might be
Yeah,
five ranges. I
because
always
again,
forget
we
about
can
this place.
for one stage we can pull everyone back to the benches behind the baffles and shoot that last stage so we get whatever minimum. I think it's already 200 plus, but if we need to, we can hold one stage back or hold it at a different spot in the range. So
Yeah,
yeah, and then
yeah. The
Avonmore.
idea of the 200 yards is not really to enforce to have 201 yards target
It's just
on the
it's just
range.
longer than 100.
Yeah, well, we want to have wind being to account and stuff like that. So we want
Yeah,
targets spreaded up to 200. Like if it's
sure.
199, no one's gonna complain. No one's gonna complain about it. But
Yeah,
you got the general idea out of that
yeah,
rule. Yeah,
yeah. And I'll talk to Sylvain at Valcartier to see if we can have a match there also. We
yeah.
never.
I've asked a couple times. They're not really into. Like I think it's more. I think it's a huge hassle hassle
Hassle. Yeah.
to deal with the military base to get
Okay.
access and stuff like that. And so they're like, when we get the access, we prefer to do a center fire one because
Okay.
it
I
attracts more
gotcha.
people. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean it doesn't mean it's gonna stay that
Yeah.
for all the time. But I know they were not super into it
Yeah.
last year and the year
I mean,
before. So
there's also Farnham. We can ask at Farnham. I,
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if Phil. Phil is still. I don't think he's the rifle guy anymore, but he'll know. I was a member of that club until last year.
Yeah,
But maybe it might be possible again because they've got 300 and 600, I think there.
yeah, I
So
think so.
I mean, we might have to shoot off the 100, 200, 300 meter berms, but there's ways to make it happen. Maybe even Ottawa at maybe Connaught Ranges opens up again for civilian events.
I don't know.
There's stuff
Yeah.
we can do there. Well, we'll see. I mean, if we know we have to make it, we'll make it happen, right? The key thing is knowing ahead of time what we need to conform to, and then
Hmm.
we can create the events
Yeah,
and knowing and if everybody knows that we need 40, then they're going to get their friends to come out to make sure we get at least 40 shooters there. You know.
yeah, yeah. But I think good matches attract like good shooters. So if the
Yeah.
match is worth it, people's gonna show up,
Yeah.
and if they're a good
For sure.
area and good timing and stuff, they're gonna
Yeah.
fill. It's not. I don't think it's gonna be an
I
issue
mean,
for this
yeah,
part.
mind you, I mean, Northern Rimfire already has those events. They've got, 6, 7, 8 events, and they have, 60, 80 people show up. So, for the Southern Ontario guys, it's I think there's at least 4 or 5 venues there alone. So that series is probably okay. It's the guys in Eastern Ontario and Quebec that have to travel to do those to make sure, to top up their match counts compared to what's available in Eastern Ontario. So it's not
Yeah,
impossible. It's more, if you're in Lower Mainland Vancouver, that's not a problem. With all the events that are available across the border and what
yeah.
what Josh is putting together.
Yeah, and
And
all like eastern part, like Ottawa, Montreal, and even
yeah,
Quebec up to Quebec, we got couple ranges, and one that showed up last year, and Vermont, Fairfax, Vermont, which
yeah.
is like from my place. I think it's how 1 hour 30
Oh, nice,
from
nice.
Montreal. It's just you just have to cross the border, but it's even closer than Ottawa itself, and we got a couple ranges down there, so it's good
Okay.
options too.
And they
And
they have the turnout. They have a 40 shooter turnout there.
that's a good question. Probably really
Okay,
close to. Really amazing, good shooter. Range was amazing, and yeah.
nice.
So I think they might do it. They have more than 200 for sure.
Yeah,
Probably
I mean,
depending on the match, the 40
yeah, I mean,
shooters.
if you get the guys in Ottawa and Montreal, the convoys, say, look, we can get 12 shooters from Canada just to go down. That's
Yeah,
automatically
it's gonna.
25% of what you need. So
Yeah,
we can put it over the top pretty easy if we have to. So I think it's
yeah,
just a matter
exactly.
of letting everyone know what needs to happen, and then
Yeah, yeah,
organize
and
so
that's the main
it
reason
happens.
we've been working with that lately, because we like it's been quite insane for the last, I'll say, 4 year for weeks for Capra. Like we've been doing the qualification for Centerfire, taking the quality, like people applying, making the Centerfire teams. We've started reaching to everyone. We have IPRF meeting for which with the other countries to decide different rules, talking about the factory stuff, and
That's good.
over that we were like, you know what, we need to we need to release the qualification process for the rimfire stuff, and so we did
Yeah,
everything at the same time. The last 4 weeks have been quite insane, but as you said,
I hear you.
the earlier we show the intention of the
Yeah,
qualification process, I think it's going to be way easier for the shooters to get prepared and
sure.
everything. So that's the reason we've worked that hard during the last few weeks,
Yeah,
and hopefully it's going to help everyone. And
yeah,
we've asked different shooters. We've asked the rimfire team from last year about the new qualification process for the rimfire stuff, and
right.
and so far I think everyone have agreed to the last version of it.
That's cool. That's good. That's awesome, man. I know it's a lot of work. I mean, because with 5 guys, there's going to be different opinions in how to do things. But the key thing is that there's so much experience and so much goodwill that you want to make it happen. That again, there's little details that are going to have to get sorted out. But thanks to you guys for putting that information together so that we know what we need to do to better support Team Canada. This year and next year.
Yeah.
So that's cool, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, and that's why I started right at the beginning saying, like, is the rules we got now, they might be tweaked here and there, but the main
Yeah.
idea I think is going to be remain the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think we're going to see much change out of it. So that's why we've published it. But you never know. Some people came up with really good idea
Yeah.
to change the wording, or you could consider this part for, and so we put all the recommendation into consideration. So
That's it. That's cool. No, it's not easy, man. From looking from the outside, so what are those guys doing? And having organized stuff like this, I know how much time it takes, how much effort, and you want to make the right decisions, right? So
yeah,
you kind of second guess yourself. And again, it's a volunteer position. You're not getting paid the six-figure salaries to do this. It's on top of everything that we do is it's good. Well, thanks for putting that effort in, man.
it's a pleasure.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I can't wait to when is Worlds? When is the competition?
I got the calendar upstairs. I think it's
Is it in the
10,
fall or late summer?
11 September 11
Okay,
to 18 or 17.
okay, that's cool.
It's by the end of the
Yeah,
season this year. It's in Colorado, and
okay.
we'll see. There have been no announcement of the place the Rimfire World Championship next
Oh,
week.
not yet.
Next year is gonna happen, because I don't know if people knows it, but it is 1 year Centerfire, and then it's gonna be
Yeah.
1 year Rimfire, and then go back 1 year Centerfire. So it's gonna be a rotation
Okay.
for the World Championship. So we don't know
So we
yet
don't
where it's gonna happen
for
next year,
Rimfire.
but
Do
yeah.
we know? Do we have a country at all? No country. No country's been announced.
2 countries are applying for it, from
Okay.
what I know.
Okay. Are you
So
able to say what countries those are? No, not that it's going to happen, but
yeah, it's nothing sure, but so far I'm not sure I can talk about it, but I will. It is either in UK. I've
okay.
heard UK is applying, or in Canada itself. We're trying
Really?
to, yeah,
Oh,
we're trying to make it happen here too.
that's cool.
We're working with a facility which is an amazing place, a place that is ready to get a lot of people internationally. Like, because
Yeah.
we're talking about 400 and more people going in the
Yeah.
same town, so you cannot
You need
really do that in like,
camping.
yeah, in a camping, like in the middle of the prairies.
Yeah.
Let's say that. So you have to be at least organized. You
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
not too far from a international airport, and so
Yeah.
we got all that sorted out. So we're working
That's
on the
cool.
application.
That's exciting,
We'll
man.
see. We'll see. That,
We'll
like,
see. Okay.
we really don't know if
Well,
it's
it's
gonna
gonna make
work,
if
gonna happen, but yeah, couple. I think when we got the first meeting with the IPRF, it was probably a month, maybe six weeks ago, and
okay.
they told us no one have applied, like no serious place have applied
Okay.
to get the world championship in their country, and I was like,
Okay.
you know what, we might be able to do it. We have a big rimfire community.
Yeah. Yeah.
The match director is super well organized, and we got tons of shooters. We know, like,
Yeah.
we know the sport, and when we talk to the other country, where the rimfire in Canada is really advanced compared to a lot
Yeah.
of other places. I don't think we are in the close to the US, where the US is, but we are definitely probably in the top 5 of the countries with
Oh,
the
that's cool.
best like, yeah, the more developed, I'll say, rimfire community. So I was like, we can try it. We'll see if it
Yeah.
works. So we've been working
We
on
have
that.
nothing to lose. I mean,
Yeah,
if we get
exactly.
it, it makes travel so much easier.
It makes
You
the
know.
travel easier. It makes, like, the other countries to come here. So it's only good thing for Canada. I think it's good for the recognition of
Yeah.
the shooting sports in Canada, and I think right now we need that more than ever. And
Yeah.
a lot of good thing out of if we can make it work. So Carly is
That's cool.
working really hard on that part, because she's better at writing
Yeah.
email
Yeah. That's
and
awesome.
and good stuff than I am. But yeah,
We need to throw MDT money at this.
I,
Oh,
Ryan have been helping a lot too.
yeah,
So
yeah. That's awesome. No, that's
everyone's
good.
being super involved in all of that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Oh, I hope it goes our way. But again, the UK is not a bad place to go. It's not that far, 6 hour flight.
I don't know. I don't know. UK, from what I've heard, it's raining all the time. Nah,
It doesn't rain all the time. I used to work for a UK company, so
yeah,
there's some nice days too. You know,
there is some nice days.
there's some nice days too. Yeah. Current policy gun restrictions for that event. I don't know. I think 22 is going to be the last one. Bolt action 22s are going to be the last one to be taken away. Likely shotguns and bolt action
Yeah,
22s.
it's been
You
talked
know,
about that, but like we'll see what the gun laws are going to be. I don't like so far with C21. Like the from my understanding, the rimfire magazine are not going to be affected. So the rifle themselves won't be a problem. The magazine maybe. Worst case scenario, they might be limited at 10 rounds.
Yeah.
Hopefully 10 rounds. We'll see if they go 5, we're gonna have an issue there. But yeah, it's a concern. But I think every shooter in the country is really concerned by what is happening right now. So
Yeah, for sure. Like 80% of my gun collection is locked up now.
yeah,
Well,
I got a
non rimfire.
couple. Yeah, I got a
So
couple of myself.
yeah, that's it. Awesome. That's good, man.
Yeah. Do you got any? I haven't looked into the chat for a while. Do you got any questions? Or I'm that clear?
Um, no, I think it's pretty much everyone just says 10-hour drive is nothing. So
Well, it's nothing for
people
us
I mean
because
people that
we're
can,
yeah, we're used to that.
we're used to that. Yeah,
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 but ask someone in Europe, in France, and everything, they're
yeah.
gonna tell you you're crazy because of that.
I
So
know. I mean, it takes me 2 days to get through Ontario when I'm heading out west. That's a long time.
yeah,
It's like 2,000 kilometers. Half of my travel is just going through Ontario.
yeah,
So, but
the
but no, I
country is
think I
wide.
think that's good. It's big. It's amazing. We have an amazing. There's so many spots. I mean, you choose what kind of terrain you want. You want mountains. You want rolling hills in the prairies. You want the forests that we have in Quebec. I think Valcartier has like the best that artillery pad where you hold the ELR. It's like one of the best spots. It's like Meaford.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
prefer Valcartier. Depending, there is 3 or 4 ranges we shoot regularly at Valcartier,
yeah,
and 2 of them are amazing. One of them
yeah,
is I don't like it
yeah.
because it's a bit too.
Too uphill.
I don't know how to call it. It's just kind of a weird terrain where the wind is really unpredictable, really
Yeah.
hard to see. Targets don't have backsplash on that
Okay.
particular range. The 2 others are fine, really
Yeah,
good
yeah,
place, really nice place to shoot at. Probably one of the best places to shoot in Canada. From what I've
yeah,
seen, I haven't
yeah.
seen everything.
It's
I'm in
nice. It's
BC.
nice.
Yeah, BC. They have beautiful views too. So but yeah, they
Yeah,
got they got a really nice place to shoot, and
yeah.
yeah, and another thing I'm thinking about from what we've learned from Italy, we've been jealous of the U.S. team because they got someone doing all the administration part
Yeah.
for the shooters, taking care of the organization of who have to be where, when, and stuff like
Okay.
that.
Logistics. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and I was on the on the group chat for the team when they were in Italy, and I got plenty of text message coming in and like I forgot my tripod at the top of the hill. Can someone bring it
yeah,
to me? And that kind of message every day. And I was just
yeah,
like
yeah.
I was at work, I was reading that. I was like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, what are they doing
Crazy.
out there? Like
Yeah,
losing all their parts, and I'm in the parking lot. Where are you guys?
yeah.
I'm waiting for my lift, and yeah. So one of the
It's
and
it.
Sure told us like it was not. really well organized down there.
Yeah.
And so for this year and years on, we're gonna have at least one person doing all the administration stuff for the team.
Yeah.
Plus, we're gonna get some volunteers traveling with
Yeah.
us and
Nice.
just helping the people.
That's a terrific idea. I
That's
mean,
gonna be
you need a team at least 3 to 5 people just supporting the team.
yeah. Well,
Like who's got water, who's got food, that basic.
and people are not shooting the same day.
Yeah.
Like the open team is shooting, let's say on Monday, and the women and the out are shooting on the day next day, and etc. So what we could do, and we're going to see how we organize that. But when you don't shoot, you're on a duty day working for the shooters themselves. So you
Yeah.
help, like let's say debriefing after his stage, helping him prep for the stage. Okay, you're gonna need your tripod. Here is your tripod.
Yeah.
What else can I do? I'll look
Just,
for the wind. Like seeing if
yeah.
it changed and stuff like that before you start shooting.
Sure.
I already asked. We got already a couple of volunteers in
That's cool.
our chat, and I was like, you know what? I like what I imagine is just you finish shooting, you take a step back, someone grab your rifle, give you a water bottle, small massage,
That's it.
debrief, everything's good.
Exactly.
Umbrella, all right, come back.
Yeah. I mean, it's important. I mean, there's already enough stuff going on. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
you don't have time
just a
to
bit of support. Just a bit of support.
Yeah, just get a drink. Here's a sandwich, or here's an apple or an orange.
Yeah, so
some
just
guys
carrying carrying.
Yeah.
If we can do like pairs or whatever,
Yeah.
I think everything's going to be helpful at this point. But
Yeah.
what we want to do, which I'm not sure happened in Italy, is having a really like shooting team. It's not we know we are gonna have to compete at individual level, but if you've seen for this year, for example, if you've seen the United States team, like they got all the best shooters. And they're going to kick our ass. Well, it's our expectation. They're going to kick our ass by far. And it's the expectation, looking at the last few years, it's the expectation of all the other countries. So we're not going to fight for the podium for individual position, but we're going to fight for the podium for the team. Might not be the first place because the U.S. probably going to take it, but the second and third place for the team. Sure. We have a chance for that. So we're going to have to play as a team. We're going to have to shoot as a team, and we're gonna have to act like that. So
it's just organization. It's all the care and feeding. Because right now you have a group of individuals that shot an international match. Again, I'm just stepping back just because there was no time to organize a team. Right? You don't have an equipment manager. You don't have a logistics manager. You don't have a hospitality manager. You don't have a gopher that says, "Oh, I left my mags in the hotel," or we should have extra mags. We should have extra bipods. We should have lens wipes, spare scopes, all the normal stuff that breaks, first aid kit, I cut myself, or here's medicine, who's got aspirin or Tylenol, whatever, right? Just normal stuff like that can change your outlook for the next stage, because you're ready. You're not hungry. You didn't forget anything. You've got, your luggage arrived. The logistics guy went and got the luggage that was left behind, and all that stuff. All those things. I mean, if I keep adding an extra 1 or 2% with every interaction, you end up getting a 15% advantage over not having those guys to support you. Yeah. So having come from that world, it's when you run a team, you need people not shooting to help manage the shooters, really. So exactly. Good. That's awesome.
Yeah. Colorado, I've heard where we're going to be. There is not much to see around, so people are going to have anyway to stay with the rest of the group. But in Italy, it's another story. People want to like walk around, see the place and stuff. But for the next World Championship, it's going to be like you have to be dedicated for the team. I think it's 4 shooting days. Yeah, those 4 shooting days are not for vacation; they're for shooting.
They're for work.
And you can take vacation after that or before the match. It's up to you, and enjoy the country. It's being there. Like, it's nice to travel. It's nice to enjoy the place. But
I can imagine how beautiful that venue is going to be in Colorado. Just mountains, shooting across valleys. It's gonna be
Yeah,
crazy.
they got a match. They got a match there. I think it's in August. Not quite sure. The registration opened last week, and we sent
Okay,
the email to all the group to say, like, if you want to see the venue of where the World Championship is going to be, like those matches, it's worth, if you can, to go and
to go
shoot
shoot.
them. Yeah, it's
Nice.
gonna be a good training. It's gonna be like you're gonna see how it is down there,
Yeah,
how the wind is, how the temperature is, and stuff like
yeah.
that. So
Do you know where the venue is? Are you able to post a link to that somewhere?
yeah, yeah. I don't remember. I don't remember the name of the place. Is it Twin Peak? I'm not sure. I'm not really
We'll,
good
we'll,
with
we'll
names and stuff
yeah,
like
we'll,
that.
we'll we'll post it on the
Yeah,
CRPS Facebook group
yeah. But
if you see
yeah,
it.
it's been announced. We got the place.
Cool.
We're looking at the Airbnb right now, and yeah,
Nice. Oh, it's gonna be a team house. Cameo.
cameo,
Dan says
cameo.
cameo.
Yeah,
Okay. Cool.
yeah. But well, team's gonna be too big for one house, so we're looking at two or three houses right now. But yeah, yeah,
That's gonna be amazing. That's gonna be such a fun event. I looked at the names, and it's gonna be such a fun team to shoot with.
yeah,
Lot of good guys there, a lot of good shooters, a lot of good women, and the youth shooters are gonna be pretty good. It's
yeah.
gonna be
There's a
nice.
couple guys in the team I don't even know about because I'm not used
Yeah,
to shoot like western part of to be broadcast online again. I don't know
probably.
if yeah.
Well, because the people that broadcasted live from Italy is an American company, no?
Yeah,
Was an American organization, so I would assume that you probably get more coverage because it is on quote unquote home turf.
yeah, we'll get the our social, I'll say social media assistant
Okay,
or personal social media assistant there to do the coverage for us.
nice.
It's the same person who is doing all the posts on Facebook
Okay,
this year. Super
nice.
helpful. And so we will bring her with us. So at least if you don't have shooter's mindset, it was who did it last year.
There you go.
So at least, if I don't know if they're going to be here, going to be there again. There have been no announcement yet,
Yeah,
but I guess they will. But you will have the coverage from the Canada team for sure.
yeah. And I just want to circle back to a comment from again. We covered the areas like the prairies where there isn't a lot of matches. I think for us, it's just organizing. So, as I mentioned to Yannick, having the information earlier is better for us, so we can actually organize events. And if you missed the earlier conversation, there's going to be five different qualifying events where you've got at least 7 or 8 stages, 40 shooters, and over 200 yards or 200 meters in distance at least for one stage. Knowing that, we can get organized to make sure that we fill all those spots that we need to. So I think as a region, the prairie region, we should be able to get, if we know there's enough with enough time, that we're going to have 2 qualifying matches this year and 2 qualifying matches next year, and then you'll have to travel for another match, either Alberta or whatever east, Ontario somewhere, and then we'll do our best to host the matches. So there you go. Perfect. So that's a thing. I think if you know that there's 3 qualifiers every year, it's going to be in the prairies, then you better show up and you better bring 2 or 3 friends, right? And I think that's the key thing, is just getting organized, knowing that 2 years ahead of time is going to make the difference. So that's why I'm already starting to contact people in all the different regions. What can we do as I plan this year's schedule? How many different venues can I get in within a 6-hour drive either way of any of those cities? So that's what I'm focusing on. And again, the west is pretty easy. The east is pretty easy. It's that middle. So from southern Alberta all the way to the Ontario border, what can we do to kind of cover that territory and make it worthwhile and minimize the amount of travel? So, but again, the guys, there's a lot of great shooters in the prairies. Like I said before. So again, we'll do our best, and if we need to do more things, then we'll do it. And again, if the rules or the qualifications change, let us know, Yannick. I mean, I'm sure I'll reach out and make sure that we're doing all we can to help support get guys on there. I think the big thing is making sure we can raise funds so that shooters can remove that. All you need to do is find the time, right, to go to the worlds, and also time to practice so you can represent, comfortably in your mind. And again, for
Mhm.
us, knowing that it's 2 years, we're going to start our fundraising. Again, you guys are going to do your thing, and the CRPS community stepped up last year and gave. So hopefully, if we do fundraising this year and next year, we can cover more, and remove that as a. And I think so. You're going to be asking for submissions this fall for next year's team. Is that right?
People's gonna have probably up to like 31 December 31
Okay.
of this
And
year,
then
so we can.
and then
Yeah,
can they use next year's matches to count or no?
well,
How does that
20
work?
is gonna be 2 years process
So it's gonna be
before the first
okay.
January 1st of the
Okay.
year of the World Championship. So the
Okay. So
scores
it's
from
last year's.
2020, yeah, scores from
Okay.
2023 and scores from 2024
2024.
are
Okay.
gonna
So
count.
it might be challenging for those guys that didn't shoot any matches last year.
Yeah, people who haven't shot any matches last year is gonna have to shoot a lot this year to prove
Okay.
the I will say they worth it.
Yeah.
But
But
I will say most of the usual PRS shooters,
yeah.
rimfire PRS shooters have
Yeah.
shot last year, and I've seen all
Yeah.
like we're just 2 weeks into the year, and I've seen people that already have like 3 or 4 matches shot for
Yeah.
2024.
And
So
and again, so yeah, and I think the Prairies didn't have any this year that had 40. But again, you know, we're gonna have them this year, and then we're gonna have them next year. So at least for 2027, you'll have your matches, right? So,
yeah,
you know, we start when we start, and hopefully we have enough in the bank so you can get the qualifications you need for the 2027 if we need to. And again, if you don't make it this year, there's always the year after, or sorry, the worlds after that in 2 years. So
yeah,
the goal is having that infrastructure so people can be ready for it, and for us to organize enough matches in the areas that are underserved by matches to have enough qualifications to make it. So I think it becomes more important the, to the regional shooters to get together as a community and say, hey, let's make it happen. You know.
yeah.
So again, I don't know if that's realistic or not, but that's we're gonna try it out, right? We can only try. Perfect.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the
Yeah,
same way we think about the rules, the same way about like we've come to the agreement. I think it's fair for every part of the country, but we've get to for rules, and but we'll see if we see at the beginning of 2025 it doesn't make sense. We're gonna change them for
yeah,
the next world event. But
yeah.
yeah, I think it's a really good start. It's a way better start than where we
Yeah,
was last
for
year,
sure.
and
Yeah,
yeah, it's only going
yeah.
to improve from there.
That's awesome. That's cool. Well, again, thank you for all your efforts in making that happen. So,
Really a pleasure.
just changing gears slightly. So, you're an experienced shooter. You got into the sport 3 or 4, 5 years ago, 2019, 5 years
I
ago,
think
four
so.
years
Yeah,
ago.
5 years.
What what advice would you give to someone just starting out? What do you recommend they do? Do they, like you said, CZ 457 is a good rifle to start with. What advice would you give a new shooter or a new competitor?
Truly, I'm spending way too much time on Facebook, and the first thing is don't trust internet all the time. Don't trust everyone's commenting. I see a lot of really good advice, and I see a lot of really bad comments, really bad advice for new shooters. It depends on who commenting. The issue is that you don't know if the one commenting, like as a new shooter, you don't know if the one
Yeah,
commenting is an experienced shooter or a new
yeah,
one and trying to give you a pro advice. And we've seen that a lot. And yeah, we got a couple argumentation on private group chat
yeah,
for advice that were not really helping your shooters. So
yeah,
I think the best way is like finding a good community, a place
yeah,
where people go and shoot. If you know people in the like around you shooting PRS, you should be really good friend with them and ask them to bring you shooting, giving you advice and stuff like that. Like a good friend will help you
Yeah.
right at the beginning. And the only way you're going to learn what you need for a scope, for a bag, for whatever, is going to be at the range, at the PRS
Yeah.
range. And I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I read
Yeah.
the.
Yeah. No worries.
Can I put? Can I
And
put that? No, I cannot put.
you
No,
want it?
I don't think.
This one?
Well,
You want
yeah,
me to share it?
the last comment. Yeah,
The last
is
one?
just so funny. It's just so funny. Um, sorry, because I see a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff. But
Yeah.
other than that, yeah, go to the range and you're gonna learn a lot there.
Yeah.
You
But
can there is every or every place you're gonna go and shoot a PRS. People are super willing to help you with the bags,
yeah.
with whatever you ask. They're gonna help, and so you're gonna learn a lot just by
Yeah.
saying on your first match, just by saying, I'm new, I don't know how the sport
Yeah.
works, but I'm here to learn, and here is my gun.
Exactly.
I want to take a look at how it works. You shoot the match, you're probably gonna hit one or two targets at the end of the day, but you're gonna learn so much. You won't buy stuff,
Yeah.
and the money you will save out of not buying the
Yeah.
bad stuff, you will put it on more matches, more ammo, more practice,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
it's the only way to learn what are you gonna need for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's good.
you
Yeah.
can look at YouTube videos too. Most of them are really helping you shooter. There is a ton of video of what you need for a PRS match, or and like what to expect about a PRS
Yeah.
match, and feedback from PRS match, and like there is a ton of video. They're all helpful, like I think.
Yeah. And
And
you had an advanced shooter course last year, didn't you? Positional shooting last
yeah,
year. That was just a
yeah,
one time thing.
we have been talking about making it again this year. We haven't settled a moment yet. I'm gonna do one for Centerfire near Toronto area
Okay.
for
Cool.
because they got a new range. I think it's in Borden. They got Borden for PRS shooting, and so they got a lot of new PRS shooter for they got a lot of new PRS shooter for Centerfire, and so they asked me to do a PRS class
Nice.
to help the new shooters, progress faster and safer
Yeah.
than what they're used to.
Yeah.
And but that's for the Centerfire part. So the rimfire part, we're looking to with Matthew to do it again this year.
Perfect.
We haven't looked for a calendar and stuff like that, but we're looking
Okay.
into it. But it's not a new shooter
Yeah.
class. It's really for people who have shot. I don't remember what it was a requirement last year, but I think it was you have to have been active in PRS. You have to shoot at least. It was 1 or 5 matches. I cannot
Right.
remember, but it was when reading, advanced positional, and
Right.
moving,
Cool.
and how you So it's
Yeah.
not for someone
Nice.
who haven't started PRS yet.
Yeah. 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 And
So
I got great feedback from the guys that attended that course. You, Steve Barks, and Matt.
yeah,
So that's cool.
yeah,
Hopefully we can.
we've learned a lot from the class itself, because
Nice.
we've done it. It was a first try. We were not
Yeah.
instructors in real life, none of us. So we've did it, and I think we've accomplished good stuff because people have
Yeah.
increased their score through the class.
Nice.
But because it was the day before a match, right? You got a match at CRPS and Avonmore the next day
Yeah.
of the class, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and people they've learned a lot. They've shot the match
Yeah.
after it, and they've seen that their score improvement right after the
Right.
clinic. So that's really
It's
it
cool.
was super. Yeah, it was really really cool to hear about that, and so we want to do it again. And we also ask them what they like, what they will like to see improve, and so we're gonna apply all of what we've learned from the
Cool.
class for this year too. Yeah.
Nice. Can't wait. Can't wait to see that happen again. Again, more. And again, for us, we're bringing the Rimfire Competition Academy back again, which is the competition fundamentals, just getting started. We talk about ballistics, we talk about wind, we talk about zeroing and what
Yeah,
are
exactly.
the basic positional aspects that you should think about at the
Yeah.
different positions. So it's a
Yeah,
good
and
feeder into
it
what you're
was
doing.
part exactly. It was the part of when we were talking about it. Like we know the CRPS Academy, right? It's the
Yeah,
name.
yeah. The
We know there
rimfire
is the
competition.
yeah. You got the class for a newer shooter or people who
Yeah,
want to be more comfortable with all the PRS
yeah.
shooting stuff, and so we were like, Rig's doing a good job for that part, so let's do the advanced class for people
Nice.
who's
That's
like
cool.
into it and just want to improve
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
into
Fine tune.
exactly. It's a learning
That's
curve, and sometimes it takes a lot of matches to understand what you're
I
not
know.
doing correctly. And a clinic
Yeah,
like that might save you like 4 or 5 matches to
to
get the
learn.
spark. Yeah, the spark
Yeah,
of okay, when I put my like this part at this place, I'm getting
yeah,
unstable. I don't, and the time you take to figure this out, it's matches. You lose
yeah,
points out of it. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. You learn so much so quickly because
Hmm.
you can try it. People are correcting you right there while you're shooting, which is awesome. So hopefully we
Exactly,
see
and the
more of that. And
feedback was straightforward and was like there
yeah,
won't be anything personal during the day. So
yeah,
that was, I think it was the first thing I said at the beginning. Nothing will be personal, but
yeah.
I will tell you what you do wrong right at the beginning. And yeah, so it's the best way
Nice.
to learn.
Perfect. That's awesome, man. That's good. Well, we look forward to seeing you on the firing line again this year, Yanick, one of these events somewhere, and
Hopefully, I hope to.
maybe
I'll
with
yeah.
your new MPA gear, or maybe you'll bring out the old 4.55 hammer just for fun.
It's gonna be the MPA only this year for
MPA,
sure.
okay,
Yeah,
that's it.
for sure.
You're a sponsored shooter now. You have responsibilities.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, but yeah, and I'll still have one match to shoot for qualification for different fire stuff. So I'll probably shoot it.
There you go.
Yeah, somewhere in
Cool.
Ontario this year.
Awesome. Perfect. Now, do you have a YouTube channel, Yanick? You have just
Yeah,
French or
Canadian
English?
precision. Yeah, no, it's in English. Well,
Okay.
half and half, half and half. It's more.
Okay.
It's not much active right now. But I'm preparing
There.
a new muzzle brake testing video. I've been done 2 so far, and I'm
Okay.
preparing a third one with new muzzle brake to compare which one is the like more effective and stuff like that.
Cool.
So yeah, and there is plenty of PRS content up there, like
Nice. So it's
class, win
Canadian.
class, and stuff like that. Canadian precision
Let me
shooting.
let me look it up. I'll post the link right now. Canadian. Let's go to YouTube here. YouTube's Canadian precision shooter. Okay. I'm subscribed. I'm trying to find the link. I think I can just copy that shortcut. I'll post it here. There we go. Yeah, just search Canadian precision shooter. Canadian precision shooting, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Canadian precision shooting. There you go. Perfect. All right. Perfect. Thanks, Yannick. Thanks for your time. Appreciate
Always a
it.
pleasure.
Thank you,
I come once a
everyone.
year. Once a year here. All
Well,
right.
stay tuned. What? Well, we'll try and get you more as things develop with Capra, and maybe we can get some match reports from you every now and again. Tell us what you think of the matches you shot, lessons learned, and it's always good to share experiences. People just want to live. They want to live vicariously through you, Yannick. If they can't go to these fancy matches, they can at least experience it firsthand. Favorite stage most hated. Lessons learned. What would you do differently? Stuff like that. It's just nice to
Yeah.
hear it. And in the next coming weeks, we haven't released the schedule yet for Rimfire Precision for CRPS, just because we're finalizing our sponsorship because things will get branded and the numbers of matches and locations of matches. Like I said, because Capra is there and we're getting ready to provide qualifying matches for there, we want to be able to put it in the right places where we can do most good. So we're actively looking for hosts in the underserved areas like Saskatchewan and Manitoba, and maybe Northern Ontario, Sudbury, not Sudbury, but Dryden and all the way up there. Not that we have got a lot of shooters there, but again, we want to make sure that we provide opportunities, and if we give enough lead time, we want to make the minimum head count. And so again, we'll find out. At least we'll try. So we know that there's pockets of shooters that aren't within easy reach of a CRPS match. So we want to put one there, and if we just keep putting 2 or 3 a year in those areas, eventually you'll have the 5 you need if we get the right turnout. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for a couple of new events. So this year, just for those that don't know, CRPS actually encapsulates several different formats. So the most accessible one is the Outlaw Rimfire Precision Series. That is the monthly hosted matches where clubs across Canada each month will shoot the same course of fire. All of their scores get tabulated into a leaderboard, which now we've sorted out all the bugs, so we're now able to publish monthly. So you can see how you perform against everyone else that shot that course of fire every month, all the way from January to December. And then we also have a national leaderboard, which we just published last year. And you can see the results on the rimfireprecision.ca website, where at the end of the year, this year was from May, last year was from May to October, to see who the winners were in each of the divisions. And that's it's a 5-stage match from it's 25, 50, 75, and 100 yards. Those are 4 fixed distances, so it's very equipment friendly. You really only need two holdovers, and you can even eyeball it. It's 8 inches above the target at 100, and it's an inch under at 25, and the 50 and 75 are going to be the same. So it's a good entry into PRS. And then after that, we have the traditional CRPS. As I said before, we'll have 25 to 30 matches across Canada. And then we have the 22 Hunter series that we're finalizing the sponsorship for that, and that's a Hunter style match. Blind stages, typically 8 to 10 stages per match, and you walk up. It's 1 target, 2 targets, or 4 targets, and 1, 4, 2, or 1 position, and you've got to find it, range it, and engage it. And it's going to be between 25 to 150, sometimes 200 yards, usually buried in a tree line or in bushes or something. So it's very Hunter style. We also have the X22, which is the semi-auto, very multidiscipline. So there's silhouette steel standing, there's short course PRS, long course PRS, and paper targets and speed steel. So that's another one. The other one that's really fun is the King of 2 miles, where you've got 4 different stages, different size targets, culminating in the grand finale stage, which is all the way out to 700 meters. No one has yet hit 700 meters, but this year again we're hopeful. It's going to be in Saskatoon again. That's the home of the King of 2 at the Twisted Rooster Ranch. And for this year, we're launching a new series with Tessero, which will provide more information. It's the Tessero Precision Paper Target Precision Paper. Anyway, it's going to be 50-meter prone, 100-meter prone, 50-meter bench, 100-meter bench against paper targets. So it'll be the Olympic-style paper targets. It's for those folks that are looking for a more peaceful way to shoot. You'll have 20 minutes to do 20 rounds. It's going to be shot as a relay. So that'll be coming soon to a place near you, and we're finalizing the sponsorship for that. Well, it's going to be Tessero. What we'd love to offer, because it's going to be the first year, is it's free for you to enter up to a maximum. So it's going to be free for you to try out. So Tessero is going to cover all the costs for you to come and try out. There'll probably be a fundraiser to cover all of the paper and the stuff like that, but we'll tell you more about where it's going to be. Likely the first event is going to be in Stittsville, just because it's close by. But again, it's going to be 50-meter, 100-meter prone, 50-meter, 100-meter bench. And it's going to be the same rifles you bring now. And whatever divisions we have in ORPS and CRPS will be the same divisions that we'll have at the Tessero Precision Paper Series. So it's going to be a demo event this year. There'll be no standings. But eventually, for next year, it's going to be run like ORPS, where clubs can run monthly matches, and you'll post your scores against everyone else who shot that month, and you'll see where you stack up every month, culminating in a leaderboard. So that's the new Tessero Precision Paper Series. Cool. I just saw someone's doing King of Tutu in Manitoba this year. That's awesome. Terrific. No problem. And there is a comment about what about Northern BC? Hey, just send me an email, rick at rimfireprecision.ca. If you've got the range and you think you've got the people, we will certainly try and make it fit. I will be in BC again this year in August timeframe. So July, August timeframe, we'll be there. The only thing I've got is it's got to be done before the either the 11th or the 18th because my daughter gets married. So we got to get it done there. So July maybe. But anyway, send me an email if anyone has any questions. Send it to info@rimfireprecision.ca. The schedule is going to be posted on our website, rimfireprecision.ca. Right now, I don't think we have any new events listed, but again, we'll be updating that as we finalize. It's going to be a couple of weeks. We'll get the first ones out, and right now, SHOT Show is happening, so a lot of the vendors are busy gearing up for that. So it's going to be radio silence until they recover from their Las Vegas working trip. So it'll be good. That's it. I don't think there are any other questions in the comments. But again, if you do have events that are rimfire related, we're thinking of putting together a master calendar that you can filter through for CRPS or by region. So if you want to let us know about your event, we'll put it up on a calendar. Ideally, I think someone had worked on you submitting it or editing directly a spreadsheet that gets published. So we'll work through that. I think the key thing is getting everyone on the same page so we can see what's happening in each of the areas. Rule changes, yes, there are going to be rule changes. Stay tuned for that. As I mentioned at the beginning, we have an ORPS match directors meeting next Thursday. And then after that, we'll have the week after the CRPS match directors meeting just to talk about the things that we're doing. All of the things we're doing is trying to align ourselves with the international rules. So yes, things are being discussed about changes to how the divisions shake up to kind of align ourselves. The goal is to not impact anyone, so you're not suddenly going to get thrown out. But again, we'll work on that. There's going to be a podcast next week. The goal is to have weekly podcasts. We're back. We had some stuff that we had to take care of at home that tied us up for the end of last year. We are back in a good spot. So we're going to go weekly until the season starts, and then we'll try and do it monthly once the season starts, and then the heavy travel starts to happen. So anyway, that's it. So Yanick, thank you very much for putting up with that long-winded speech, and thank you for your efforts at keeping Team Canada going. I know it's not easy. I don't envy the work that you guys have to do. And again, I don't know what the process is for getting volunteers. Are you going to submit a request, or you already have the volunteers? I know that there are people out there in the audience and in our community that have skills that are willing to travel. So if anytime Capra wants to post, feel free to post on the Facebook. You don't need to get approval from me. So
and see if people have any question about that or want to be like volunteering, just contact me or any member of Capra, and of course we'll be super happy to get all the help we can.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, these people will have to be willing to travel and be basically supporting crew to help to make Team Canada a real supported team, so that all they have to worry about is putting hits on target. So that's awesome. Thanks again, man. Say hello to your wife and your kids that I haven't met. You've had 2 kids now since I met you.
Yeah, 2 kids.
Okay, if you want to keep shooting again, keep it at 2 for now. All right, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you for saving me.
Thank you to the community, and we'll see you guys on the firing line. Take it easy.